Liverpool fan in Japan.
Hello YouTube, Liverpool fan in Japan here, the Miyazaki man Sai, and we have the last ever Merseyside derby at Goodison Park against Everton this weekend. Join me for the live stream. It's a 12:30 kickoff, which for me is a perfect 9:30 p.m, 9 hours ahead. However, hold your horses. The storm is brewing. We drew 3-3 with Newcastle. There's been backlash from the fans, but even more than that, Storm Dara is coming. 60, 70 miles per hour winds. Hopefully the game is not postponed. I know that life and the health and safety and care of the fans and the players is paramount. It is the most important. But if the weather kind of calms down a bit, and on the day they're going to make a judgment, right? Because there was 50 miles an hour winds against Southampton, and we ended up playing them. If it was at Brighton, probably be an early call on there near the seaside, obviously, and the players would have to travel down. But hold your horses. I think they would make the players and fans travel down anyway before cancelling the match, which would be a big hoo-ha. But no, I kid. I hope the match does go ahead because this is Liverpool's chance to put things right. Although postponing it wouldn't be the worst outcome in the world, since we would get some players back hopefully if they postpone it towards the end of the season. However, no, let's do them. Let's do them right now. What are Everton looking to line up with? What are the 5 tactical ploys that Liverpool have to watch out for from the Everton side and the Liverpool side in order to overcome this hurdle and get our form and our point tally back on track? Now, who will Everton pick? Pickford, obviously in goal. Michaelenko, he's that question mark around fantasy football. Is he worth it? Tarkowski, I guess so. Brantwaite is there up and coming wonder kid. He reminds me of a John Stones in younger years. He does make mistakes. He's well rounded, but talented player. Ashley Young always plays and seems to haul points as well in fantasy football. He'll start at left back. Aurel Mangala. Check out this video in the exclusive member section on Wataru Endo's time with Aurel Mangala in the German league. A big mistake and Endo's perspective and output on what Mangala should have done and whether it was the right thing or not, having to take the ball out of the sky in the penalty area and obviously messing up. Idrissa Gana Gueye will be in the midfield alongside Aurel Mangala to kind of hold and shut up shop in the middle. You're probably looking at Iniman, Ndai, and Decore. I guess Decore playing number 10, causing havoc. Silky feet as well. Dwight McNeil is their main outlet, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, even though he isn't really their goal threat under Sean Dyche system, because it's not like the Carlo Ancelotti system and the previous systems where he will get a lot of delivery. He'll have to pluck up there on his own and feed for scraps. So you're probably looking at that Michaelenko, Tarkowski, Brantwaite, Young, Mangala and Gueye, Ndai, Decore, McNeil, and Calvert-Lewin up front, plucking away. Now, who will Liverpool go with? But before we get into Liverpool, you know that under Sean Dyche, they're a low-scoring team. They're going to keep it tight, keep it compact, low block, make sure the gaps are closed in and around the 6th position, that there's not going to be a possible ball through the centre-back and the full-back, making sure that we really have to put in the effort to earn the yards to penetrate their area. Now, battering their box may be the name of the game, but actually quick passing, incisive football to get between the lines and behind the lines is paramount to unlocking this Everton backline. Now, one big advantage Arne Slot has over a Jurgen Klopp team is Jurgen Klopp will be blood, guts and thunder, full intensity, crashing into the tackles, beat them with superior quality, and it's always been fairly tight. Obviously, we've scored some last-minute goals. The Origi winner, the Sturridge hitting the post back to Mane winner as well. But I think Arne Slot is better suited to facing this kind of Everton team because Arne Slot can frustrate this Everton team, frustrate the fans wanting the ball, keep possession, tiki-taka, don't go direct for goal, lure them out, bait and switch, keep them guessing where the point of attack will be by shifting the ball on the laterals and horizontally, waiting for the gaps to open. Now, my team selection is what I would go with, and then I'll give you the perspective of what Arne Slot will probably go with. So let's get into it. But before we do, a big thank you to Vibes FC, Han and Mikkel for rejoining the Liverpool Fan in Japan membership. The best way to support this channel is through YouTube membership because YouTube don't pay shiz. It's like £3 per 1,000 views. Also, a big thank you to Dilap Vasudevan, Justification, Jamie Rennie, Elusive Glue, Jeff, Leonardo 1, Christian, Debs, P, and Captain Haz for going above and beyond in the Liverpool Fan in Japan members tier and in the Emperor Endo tier. I'm getting together beautiful Christmas commission collaboration with all the Liverpool players and I'll put together that Christmas hamper and I'll show everyone what you can get in the Liverpool fan in Japan or star tier and above. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. That Christmas hamper and Christmas card with my personalized handwritten note to all of you guys individually will be ready to preview in the coming weeks, and I'll send it to you guys in time for Christmas. So make sure you send me your address on Discord, and make sure everyone joins the Discord. We chat and banter 24/7 about Liverpool, life, food and fun. So why not? And a special treat for all the members beginning today, in fact, the members probably already seen it, right? Is the Tactical Masterclass series. And the reason is anything to do with Liverpool does well on this channel on the whole in public. However, when I deviate into actual tactical analysis, into formation jigging with my own experience with Lucha FC as player, manager, coach, when I dive into the actual ways of playing and how, for example, the first video, 4-4-1-1 is much better than every incarnation of 4-4-2. Those kind of videos don't really do well in the YouTube algorithm, so I'm going to keep them for members exclusive only. So if you're really interested in the tactical sides of football, understanding formations, spaces, making sure you transition in the right sort of way, and jigging the team to make sure the players suit the formation, but also the philosophy and the formation suits the players at hand, so in harmony you can work together to come up with the game-winning scenarios and outcomes that you desire. So if you're into tactics and all that, join the membership. The first video is out already. Cool, let's get into the Everton preview. Now, the first dilemma here when we're coming up into our lineup, Alisson Becker is becoming fit again, but he probably won't be fit until the Tottenham match, let's say. So Kelleher comes in here. We know VVD Van Dijk will come in. Konate is still out. Robertson is our only fit left back unless Joe Gomez plays left back. Could be an interesting one with Gomez coming in as well. Now, the dilemma is Quansah and Gomez, the conundrum there. Trent Alexander-Arnold is fit again, so you expect him to come in. Merseyside derby, he'll know all of it, being a scouser, but Quansah or Gomez? Now, Gomez has been first choice next to Van Dijk, with Quansah coming off the bench as well. And Gomez is probably the fittest and strongest in the squad in terms of actual physical power. However, I have a feeling Quansah might come in for this one, you know. He knows what the Merseyside derby is all around. Not saying that Gomez doesn't, but it would be a good show of faith to put Quansah in this lineup. And in terms of show of faith, I would love Wataru Endo to be at the base. Now, if this was my selection, it's an almost no-brainer. Emperor Endo, the man from Japan, the land of the rising sun, our favoured son as well, national team captain. Endo comes in to give the basis to form an attack. And his way of playing, his short passing, incisive, concise passing to our players of more prominence is a good base here. However, the fact that we drew against Newcastle, right, puts a spanner in the works because Arne Slot will want to go back to winning ways. Now, Gravenberch retains the ball on the laterals, can shift Everton by moving them over. So Arne Slot will probably go with Gravenberch and Curtis Jones. McAllister is bad, so Dominic Szoboszlai is looking incredibly good on the ball. That dummy to Mo Salah was a thing of beauty as well. Arne Slot will probably go with Gravenberch, Curtis Jones and Szoboszlai to start things off. But for the sake of this preview, I'm going to go with Endo here, and I'll show you why. Right, his style of play suits this match in particular because Gravenberch is very good at forcing the issues, drawing the laterals, bringing the press on and passing through the lines. But what you get with Endo, right, they're going to want to close Endo. They're going to want to pressure him, and he is pretty press resistant and he lays the ball simply. You have the lateral passing ability to get Trent Alexander-Arnold onto this line here and Robertson onto this line. Now, Robertson actually starts in this pocket wing back position anyway, but what that allows you to do, right, is shift the Everton defense, the emphasis of the press to guarding against the balls through the lines. Now, if you block the ball through the line, if you block the ball down the line as well, Trent can switch the angle of play over to the left winger, out and around side into the space for Mo Salah, in behind for a Núñez as well. What you're trying to do is draw Everton out of shape. Now, they're going to want to be pressing from the off, from the front, showing intensity, showing their willingness to play the game the way it should be played in a Merseyside derby, right? Blood, guts, and thunder. So you're going to need composure. You're going to need a player who can play it simple. McAllister would have been ideal for this, except for the fact that he's banned. Gravenberch can do it, but Gravenberch likes to beat the man, progress into midfield, chase, and he'll probably get hacked down. I do not want an injured Gravenberch because he's essential to Arne Slot's slot machine system, and we're going to need him fit for the rest of the season. He's looking slightly leggy against Newcastle. So with that in mind, I would have Quansah, Van Dijk, and Endo in that pivot there. with Curtis Jones in between the lines, drawing the fouls. Now, Curtis Jones has been playing phenomenally well as well, and I would not like to see him get injured. He draws fouls and attention, and we will be winning many fouls in this game, hopefully, albeit if the ref is non-biased. Domi Schlobbers is classy, and he does a job facilitating the midfield as well. We know Salah will start on the right wing. Could be Lucho Diaz, but a show of faith in Nunes because he really needs to gain the confidence, not in himself, but also in the fan base. The teammates have no doubts about his contributions because we're constantly winning with Nunes in there. So I've discussed that at length in the last video. And Gakpo started last game, so you'd expect Lucho Diaz, but Gakpo also has the penchant for popping up and scoring the goal as well, especially at the back post where Everton could potentially be weak. Michaelenko at the back post could be one that we pick out, right? I don't think he's going to see Gakpo in behind him, but I think Luis Diaz working with Curtis Jones to draw the fouls in amongst the areas, to pin the ball in. I think Luis Diaz starts this particular game and he will likely get on the score sheet as well because he's that type of player, very, very plucky. In the streets of Colombia, he would have expected being kicked, pillar to post as well. In terms of kicking pillar to post, Endo crunches the opposition. He'll know the game of the opposition very, very well as well because, as I mentioned, he's has a former teammate on the other side to contest against. Nunes running the channels. There will be space in the diagonals to run to because we've got to pull Everton on the laterals to make sure they come out of the block. They will be very, very much set in 2 banks of 4 with person in the pocket becoming a 5-3-2 on occasion. On occasion, Dominic Calvert-Lewin will be chasing, harassing on his own with Decore backing him up in that kind of 10 slot. But the class and movement of this midfield will allow Jones to pick it up, will allow Endo to pick it up, picking out Szoboszlai in the positions, right, in and amongst the sixes. In 10 will be super congested, but in the pockets, if we can find Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones in these kind of areas, we can play from there and the whole team can step up. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is not going to outpace Van Dijk and Quansah. There's no real pace and threat in behind in this particular Everton team, which is a big, big plus point, which means we can really play the game in their half and contest and play pinball. When you have that facility, what you need is players who have composure on the edge of the area, and all of these players, including Endo, including Van Dijk and Quansah, maybe not so much Robertson, have the facility to hold on to that ball, the extra second to draw the person in, draw the foul. Now, if Everton are stubborn and really camped on the edge of the area, and they should be because they're against the league leaders who are there on merit, then you're relying on ball pace before the incisive ball. So what I'm talking about is ball, invert, ball over to this side. And then when everyone is lined up in position for that thing, it's either you go around the outside, you give, and you go. And depending on where they come, where the Everton players are set, Salah either has a chance inside, the ability to roll it across, the ability to go in himself and take the shot, the ability to play it to Trent on the overlap so he can bring the ball and pull it back or shoot across, or in between the Everton fullback and the centre-back, the slip ball, because these positions against a low block team are undefendable. The ball can go anywhere with ricochet, with deflection, with a pullback. So it's around patience, manoeuvring the ball, manoeuvring the player, inverting, underlapping, overlapping until you get the prime opportunity to get the player of prominence in the right space. Then you pick up the tempo and off you go, over there, wherever. So really, that's the name of the game. It's moving and stifling the opposition's defensive shape, pulling them out of position. And if we get a goal, then literally the game changes because Everton can no longer sit back. They don't offer the biggest goal for it anyway. Their aim of the game will be containment. They will be trying to contain Liverpool and frustrate Liverpool. But at the same time, the reason why Arne Slot's team is better suited than Jurgen Klopp's team is because Liverpool can frustrate Everton and frustrate the home crowd by playing keep balls, by playing Jogger Bonita, playing tiki-taka and manoeuvring the ball. What I envisage with an Endo pivot is ball comes into Endo. Endo plays over to Trent. Trent plays it down the line to Salah. Salah has the square ball to Szoboszlai. You turning back, Szoboszlai is likely to play it back, in which case off we go again. If the ball is onto Curtis Jones, it's into the 10, otherwise into Robertson. Robertson hits it down to Lucho Diaz. Nunes goes on the wide channel. Lucho Diaz brings the ball in. If he's got the opportunity to go in, he goes in. Otherwise, it's on horizontal to Szoboszlai or to Salah or back to Jones as well. Now everyone's further forward. Jones has it to Trent, and what do you have now? You have everyone in and amongst the positions. He's going to dive to the P spot. He's going to be in the edgy area. Curtis Jones is going to be left 10, Szoboszlai's right 10. Salah's in the half space. It could be inverted the other way around as well. And it's a full press, and you maneuver the ball with the most dangerous player in the world on the ball in terms of delivery. So that's what Liverpool will be looking to do to exploit the spaces. How does that change with Gravenberch? Gravenberch provides an extra option to break the first line. But once again, breaking the first line is all well and good, but you're going to be camped with opposition after opposition in front of you. Everton are wanting Liverpool to play the game in front of them. So how does the game change with Gravenberch in here? So if Slot is going for the throat from the beginning, then you will see Szoboszlai more in the 10 position to give this arc to Gravenberch, because Trent will stay more in a wing back role instead of bombing into right midfield. Gravenberch can traverse into that position, and you almost play with your double pivot inside Everton's half because of the fact that Gravenberch can bring the ball, carry the ball, and play the ball as well. If you keep the width for Salah and Szoboszlai in the 10, Gravenberch in that straight line run, beating the press, beating the first line defence is a nightmare for Everton to deal with. So it'll be very, very interesting to see how Everton counteract this. The other option is Lucho Diaz up top and Gakpo on the left as well. Now, Lucho Diaz is better at connecting the play together for the fact that he's got those magical feet. So by connecting the play together, you'd expect more overlapping runs from Szoboszlai playing off Lucho Diaz. And with a Gakpo factor here, they've always got to account for the fact that around the outside, left-footed drilled ball across, he's very, very dangerous. The cross ball to the back post, whether it's through Salah, outside the foot, crossing the Gakpo, or Trent from deep to Gakpo. Gakpo is a constant threat in that position because if he gets the ball to feet, you're not going to stop him running across laterally, and that gives Robertson the free roam around the outside on the left. If Robertson gets into the byline, into that position there, as I mentioned, that is always cause for chaos for the opposition. The only thing we lack there is a dedicated penalty box poacher, but that's where Lucho Diaz comes in, because if he gets the ball to feet in this area, you're not going to be stealing the ball off him, and he's so tricky and so dangerous between the perpendiculars because he's been finishing with aplomb all season. Salah is once again the game-winning condition because he will unlock the door. He's a metric goal king, but Trent Alexander-Arnold in particular is required to have a good game to play the precise balls, and if the wind is really, really against it, then you bombard the Everton box with dipped, curved ball, not pacey balls. They have to be arced up and down onto someone's head or into someone's feet, junk ball in, and one ball you hope will drop to our player, especially Gakpo or Salah, to smash it in, even Lucho Diaz. I would take a Joe Gomez goal any day. And if Gomez comes in as well, it's more of the same, except for the fact that Gomez is pretty good at inverting to the base of the midfield. So if you have that, you might even see this kind of shape here where they all pivot on the line with Van Dijk being the sole retriever because his pace will ensure that no one gets behind as well. Curtis Jones, Szoboszlai in the pocket, Gakpo out wide, and Lucho Diaz connecting in. The good thing about Lucho Diaz is when he gets the ball, right, you will see the late runs from Curtis Jones because of his penchant to hold up the ball and his ability to find it. You'll see the ability for Szoboszlai to go into perpendiculars for the shot because of Lucho Diaz's ability to hold the ball, but he doesn't have the same capability as Darwin Núñez to off the shoulder, run in behind, spin and run, spin and go on the counter. I mean, he's fast, but he's not Darwin Núñez fast, but he's more skillful. In terms of shooting, you actually got to say that Núñez has better shot variety and better shot selection, but Lucho Diaz is he's top class, top quality. I hope they renew Lucho Diaz, hope they renew Konate soon, and Salah and Van Dijk and Trent as well. So this is how I imagine the game playing out. Everton will be set up to keep a clean sheet until the last 15 minutes. Look for set pieces as well on the counter, diving all over the area to try to win the set pieces, to try to get Dominic Calvert-Lewin in, Sean Dyche ball, Dyche style, but Liverpool overall have too much. I know there's the derby aspect of it and the blood, guts and thunder and charging and rampaging tackles, but Arne Slot is way too cultured and classy to fall for that. He will go for control, keeping that ball for that extra pass, keeping that ball extra seconds to draw out the opposition, move them around to facilitate our quality to be the difference maker. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree with the lineup? Do you agree with the setup? Do you agree with what Liverpool are looking to do? Very keen to hear. For anyone who's in and around the Merseyside area as well, what the weather is like. Is it picking up? Is it going to be good? Join me for the live stream. I will be streaming. This is a channel of substance and abundance. The cream of the crop! And we'll go for all the tactical ploys as well as what's happening on the pitch. Play-by-play and colour commentary from your boy Sai. Miyazaki man, Ichiban means the best. You guys are the best right now. Thank you so much. especially everyone supporting the channel. Let's get to 8,000 subscribers. If you enjoy this type of content, please do hit the subscribe button. Lots of quality content coming up. Join the membership as well. Once I get to that fabled 100, I want to commission that exclusive goodie with your name and your shirt number in the Discord that you choose. We keep popping up and down between 92 and 96. Some are temporary members. I forgot to take them out because they've been gifted in the live stream. That's another reason to join the live stream, by the way. We've got so many yazashi, which means kind fellow supporters, who gift membership so you guys can watch exclusive content as well. By joining the live stream, you have an opportunity to obtain one of those gifted memberships. So please join me on Saturday tomorrow. It's a 9:30 kickoff for me, 12:30 for you guys. Until next time, Miyazaki Manichiban means the best. Domoe arigatou gozaimasu. Cheers. Janet means ciao. Play my music.
Liverpool fan in Japan.